Either way, hey, here's what I like to see. I like to see Raiders sticking up for Raiders. I like to see Raiders fans sticking up for their players. Unfortunately, what you had yesterday, and I made a video about this and I clipped it up. It didn't get too much traction because I know it rubs people the wrong way, but I have to be honest about what I think. And I made a video that says, yo, why do Raider fans love players from other teams? Why do Raider fans love players from other teams more than their own players? Because to me, it was just sad. It was sad last night to see so many people just talk about online, oh, we have the worst QB in the division. Now that Russell's here, we have the worst QB in the division. And I keep saying this. If wins is a QB stat, which that's what people hold against Derek Carr, doesn't have enough wins, has good stats, not enough wins. If wins is a QB stat, then Derek Carr did better than Herbert last year. Can we admit that? Can we admit that? And I don't even think wins is a QB stat. But if you're going to say wins is a QB stat, then Derek Carr did better than Justin Herbert last year. That's the facts, my guy. Okay, that's the facts. So either way, Charles Woodson sticking up for his Raiders, sticking up for Derek Carr, fighting out here for Derek Carr. Charles Woodson on Twitter yesterday when people were saying the negative things. If Derek Carr QB played in Kansas with Andy Reid and that offense, he would be close with as many yards/touchdowns as Mahomes. Not saying he's better, but let's not be crazy. Now, personally, I would go a step further than Charles Woodson and say, we don't know. We really do not know if Carr is better than Mahomes. Mahomes is not fast. He is not straight up a Lamar Jackson out there. People really overestimate how mobile he is. He's not a mobile QB. Yes, he's able to extend some plays. Yes, his offensive line gets away with holding and illegal blocking down the field. Ask Mike Vrabel about that. You can find articles of Mike Vrabel talking about that from the Tennessee Titans head coach. But I'm just saying, we don't know. We don't know who's more talented because Derek Carr has never been in the same position as Mahomes where he has all these weapons. Derek Carr, for the first few weeks of 2021, he had his Tyreek Hill and Henry Ruggs. He had his Kelsey and Darren Waller. He had his Edwards-Helaire and Josh Jacobs. And he had an O-line that wasn't great, just like Mahomes deals with. But Derek Carr was putting up straight numbers in the first 5 weeks of the season. So we do not know. We do not know how talented Derek Carr really is because he hasn't been unleashed with the right talent. But I love haters because love and hate, they're kind of similar emotions, really. Anyways, Charles Woodson sticking up for people. Love to see that. Love to see him stick up for our guys. You had Raider fans come after Charles Woodson online and say, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Like the Raider fans are so crazy. Some of them are so crazy where they called Charles Woodson a car stand. Now Charles Woodson is being called a car stand. That's how you know things are going too far when Charles Woodson is being called a car stand by Raider Nation. But in my opinion, we need more pride in our team. We need more, if anything, we need more car stands. There should be more car stands, and it's unfortunate because you guys have to imagine this. And look, I get emotional when I talk about this stuff. Which is, these players see these comments that we make. Imagine being Derek Carr and going online and seeing some of his own fans, trash him and sort of say how he's not as great as some of these other people. I mean, to me, that's very unfortunate. Derek Carr, though, should we be car stands? Had a low passing grade last year, regressed in terms of passing grade, in terms of completion percentage. However, he had a lot more yardage. He had a career year in yardage, 4,800 yards. And that's the best of his career, and that's without John Gruden half the year, without Henry Ruggs half the year, without Darren Waller half the year, and with the banged up Josh Jacobs. Yeah, if you're gonna ask me if that's impressive, yes, I will say that is very impressive what he did last year. I don't know if Mahomes is gonna pick up almost 5,000 yards without Hill, without Kelsey, without Andy Reid. I don't know. I don't think so. You know what? He's not. He's not gonna pick up these same numbers without these weapons. He's not. And if Derek Carr had the same situation, I believe he'd pick up some great numbers. This is him over the years. Always 4,000 yards since John Gruden has returned. Great grades. The thing that needs to improve with Derek Carr, and this is the way that I will criticize him. This is the problem. We need to get that touchdown interception ratio up. However, I don't think you can completely blame Derek Carr on that. I think you could also say, bro, he doesn't have the weapons in the red zone. It's either Renfro or nothing. For the second half of last season, in the red zone, we really went downhill. We couldn't run the ball in the red zone, and it just felt like nobody was open. When the field is shortened, when you have a shorter field, you have to have great route running. You have to have people get open. There's less space for receivers to get open, and that's why I think Derek Carr struggles in the red zone. Not necessarily his fault. For our guy, we had to have Charles Woodson come out here and stand up for Derek Carr, unfortunately, because people weren't willing to, basically. Basically, Raider Nation, some of our own, weren't willing to stand up for our QB. So you had to have Charles Woodson come out here, a player, since some of our fans won't stand up for our QB. But, you know, I think we have a lot of good fans here in this chat. There's a lot of people here who seem to not think Derek Carr is the fourth best QB in the division, think he's a lot better than that. But look, I'm not quick to just congratulate and be on the nuts of the latest acne-infested QB. I mean, there's always these new baby-face, acne-infested QBs, little kids coming in here, moving around and getting hyped by the media, you know, having a lit Instagram. I'm not going to just be on the nuts of every single person. And I just feel like there's a portion of Raider Nation where they just cannot help but be on the nuts of players for other teams. And I used a bad word to describe it yesterday. I'm not going to use that anymore because videos get demonetized when Willie uses bad words. But I will say there is a sentiment among certain people where they love just praising other people so much. And it's not objective. Like, to me, it would make sense if it was like, all right, objectively, by these numbers, by these metrics, Herbert's better than Carr, or Russell Wilson's better than Carr. But nobody ever does that. People just whine and complain and say, Carr sucks. Oh, we have the fourth worst QB in the division. There's no logic to it. Okay, let's talk about wins. Well, Carr has more wins than Herbert. Okay, let's talk about numbers. Who has more yards? You know what I mean? Who had more yards last year, right? Who had better grades? Let's talk about this stuff, right? Who has a better team around them and still struggles to even compete against Carr statistically? There's a lot of stuff to say there.